Have you ever been in a situation where you felt like your whole world was crashing down around you, where it seemed like no matter what you did, you just couldn't catch a break? If you have, then you know how devastating it can be. The kind of devastation that can make you feel like giving up. It can be enough to make even the strongest person feel like they're drowning in despair. But have you ever heard of a man who lost absolutely everything and still claimed to be the freest man in the world? A man named Epictetus. He had everything taken from him, but he never gave up hope. In fact, he said something that changed my life forever. Something that will change yours too if you let it. This story goes back almost 2,000 years to a time when Rome was at its peak. Rome was known for its power and wealth and luxury, but in the year 129 AD, a series of bad events took place that would change Rome forever. There were plagues and earthquakes and wars. And right in the middle of all this chaos, a slave market was set up in the city of Epictetus. Slaves were bought and sold there, and one of those slaves was Epictetus, a small, skinny guy who didn't seem like much to most people. But what they didn't know was that he had a mind that was sharper than any sword. When Epictetus was just a young boy, he was sold to a Greek slave trader. That's where he learned the skills that would make him famous throughout the Roman Empire. One day, his owner became so frustrated with him that he pulled one of his shoulder blades clean out of its socket. It was a horrible injury, but instead of feeling sorry for himself, Epictetus used his pain as fuel to become stronger and smarter than anyone could have imagined. As a slave, he wasn't allowed to own anything, not even his own thoughts. But he found a way to keep his mind free by thinking his own thoughts, even if he had to hide them from everyone else. He knew that his mind was the only thing that was truly his, and he wasn't about to give that up without a fight. As time went on, his reputation grew and grew until it reached the ears of one of the most powerful men in the empire, Antoninus. At first, Antoninus thought that Epictetus was nothing special, just another slave. But after hearing some of the things that Epictetus had to say, he realized that he was wrong, so he decided to buy him and give him a chance at a better life. But Epictetus didn't see this as a blessing. He still believed that being a slave was terrible no matter what. He started working as a teacher, sharing his ideas with anyone who would listen. And soon he had followers all over the empire. People from all walks of life came to him for help, including some of the most powerful people in the empire. They wanted to know how he had kept his mind free while living in chains. He told them that even though he had gone through unimaginable pain and suffering, he had never given up hope. He never let his circumstances define him or make him bitter. Instead, he chose to rise above them and find the good in every situation. He taught them how to be strong in the face of adversity and never give up on their dreams, no matter how bleak things might seem. He also taught them how to focus on what they can control and let go of what they can't. He explained that true freedom comes from within and that no one can take it away from you. One day, Antoninus got sick of Epictetus' teachings and what he had to say, so he sold him again. This time he sold him to a man who hated him and made sure to treat him badly. He chained him up and whipped him and treated him worse than an animal. But even in the darkest moments, Epictetus never lost hope. He knew that one day his teachings would reach the ears of the right people and change the world for the better. And he was right. Even in chains, he continued to teach and inspire others. He showed them how to be brave and stand up for what they believe in, no matter how much pain they might have to endure. After many years, his health started to get worse and worse, and his old wounds began to hurt more than usual. One day he was called into the courtyard of his master's house. His master stood before him, along with a crowd of people. They were all there to watch as his master punished him. But instead of punishing him, his master did something that shocked everyone. He set him free. But before he could even take a step towards freedom, he fell to the ground, unable to move. He had been in chains for so long that he did not even remember what it felt like to be free. He spent the last days of his life teaching and inspiring others. He showed them how to be grateful for every moment, no matter how difficult it may be. When he finally died, it was with a smile on his face, knowing that he had made a difference in the world. So what can we learn from this amazing man? What can we do to make our lives better? First of all, we can try to be grateful for everything that happens to us, even if it seems unfair or unjust. We don't have control over everything that happens to us, but we do have control over how we choose to react. And remember, it's not what happens to us that matters most, but how we choose to respond. When life throws us a curveball, instead of complaining or feeling sorry for ourselves, we can choose to make the best of the situation and learn from it. Secondly, we should try to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. There are many things in this world that we can't change, but that doesn't mean that we have to let them control us. By focusing on the things we can change, we can make a positive impact on the world around us, no matter how difficult things may seem. Thirdly, we should try to be kind and compassionate towards others. Even if we've been through a lot of pain and suffering ourselves, we must never let it make us bitter. We must always remember that everyone is fighting their own battles, and we never know what someone else is going through. So next time you see someone who's struggling, don't just walk by. Stop and ask how you can help. Remember, even the smallest act of kindness can make a big difference in someone's life. Finally, we must never give up on our dreams and goals, no matter how challenging they may be. We all have the ability to achieve great things if we just set our minds to it. It may take hard work and dedication, but it's always worth it in the end. So whenever you feel like giving up, remember the words of Epictetus and push through. Don't let your circumstances define you. You are the only one who can do that. And remember, true freedom comes from within. It's not something that anyone can take away from you. If you want to become stronger, mentally prepare yourself for challenges and overcome obstacles. We recommend you watch the next video. These mental tricks are based on the stories of successful individuals who have beaten all odds and achieved greatness. They can be applied to your life and help you succeed.